Hi, friends. Another Wednesday in the season of Lent. I'm still in the book of Luke. Today I'm again in Luke chapter 10. Jesus is still on his way to Jerusalem. He stops by to see some friends, Martha and Mary. This is perhaps a story you know very well because I know it very well. I grew up with this story. Martha and Mary are two different personalities. Martha is getting everything ready. She's hosting. Of course, she's hosting a friend, but also she's hosting God's Son. She's hosting Jesus. There's things to do. You want to be a good host. It says that Martha is distracted by all her preparations, while Mary sits at Jesus' feet and listens to what he has to say. And finally, Martha, in her frustrated, flustered way, comes to Jesus and says, "Do you not care that my sister hasn't done anything and I'm doing everything?" And Jesus says, "Listen, Martha, you're worried about the wrong things. There's only a few things that you need to be worried about. And you have to watch Mary. She's chosen the better part. It will not be taken away from her." As I read this story, my friends, I kind of feel for Martha. Because Martha is just meaning well. Martha is not trying to do something wrong. I'm like Martha often. I get busy, I get overwhelmed. There's so much to do. As a church, we sometimes get busy and overwhelmed. God is calling us to do things, and we think we have to add more programs and we need to do more things. And all of that is well and good. But Jesus is saying, hey, slow down here. And not just slowing down for the sake of not doing anything. Mary's not being held up as an example because she doesn't do anything. She's being held up as an example because she sits at Jesus' feet. This is the thing, friends. We get so busy that sometimes we start going through the motions. We start doing the Christian things. We start doing the Jesus-y things without actually hanging out with Jesus. We do all the right things, and yet we forget our connection to the one who gives us the reason to do these things. We forget to sit at Jesus' feet. We forget to make time to listen. To be quiet enough to listen. And we lose that connection. What we do in the end is empty. Now, I'm like that sometimes, and I think many of us are like that sometimes. So perhaps in this week, in the season of Lent, as we're walking towards the cross with Jesus, perhaps we can be encouraged to slow down and make time to listen to what God has to say. To slow down enough to sit at Jesus' feet. To make sure that we're not so overwhelmed by everything we have to do that we forget the reason for why we're doing things. Friends, in this season, we are allowed to take space to reconnect with God, to make room for spiritual growth, not just all the busy work that our faith and our church entails. That is my hope for us. So may God bless us, and may God speak to us this week, and may we slow down enough to be able to hear his voice. Amen.